Good morning. I've been running into lefties over the years, as I'm sure many of you have. And I made this observation about them. You know, at first they can be sort of likable, even decent. And then when you start to disagree with them, if you say no to them, and you say, you can't do this, then they sort of transform into something else. Yeah. And I have, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing, isn't it, going on. I have this example, Bernie Sanders. You know, I remember when he was running against Hillary, he was definitely the most likable of the two. Hillary was awful. But, you know, Bernie Sanders, he was presenting his thing, which was socialism. And he did it in a sort of likable fashion. He did. Now, this story is from San Francisco. I don't know how true this is, but apparently he was at this fancy restaurant in San Francisco. And he was rude and cranky. I don't know what happened at the restaurant, but I wouldn't be surprised. And the restaurant owner said, you know, Bernie Sanders, he lost my vote. He was too rude, too cranky. Yeah, when things go their way, they can be nice and civil. Right. Sweden, there are two new types of crime in Sweden. Crimes that we haven't seen before. And the first one I told you about some time ago. It's the kidnapping of goats. Yes. I'm sure about this. Nobody ever kidnapped a goat in Sweden before. But this happened, and I told the story some time ago. And now there's a new one. It's the killing of hedgehogs. That's right. It's becoming popular. And, you know, these very cute animals, they are very good. They are. They take snails and snakes, you know, and they are cute. But some people like to kill them, apparently. There was another case last week in Malmö. They found a hedgehog squashed by a big stone. So that's the two new crimes in Sweden. Killing hedgehogs and kidnapping goats. Now, about this woman who was killed in Malmö 2 days ago, I told you about this yesterday. I got some more information about this, and I have to correct something. She was a 31-year-old doctor, and she was carrying her 2-month-old baby on her arm. Yeah, that's right, 2 months old. And the father was previously convicted of this famous robbery in Denmark, which happened some time ago. After this robbery, about $7 million just disappeared. Yeah, almost everything is still gone. So that's about that. You know, the Danish, they must really love Malmö these days. And the Malmö politicians. Malmö, this town, has been governed by socialists forever, practically. And there was this interview, this local socialist in Malmö, he was interviewed by this Danish paper. And he said, you know, they were talking about the situation in Malmö, and this socialist in Malmö, his name is Andreas Schönström. I know about this guy. Yeah, terrible person. So he said that politicians in Malmö probably made some mistakes over the years when it comes to crime. Really. And but that they are doing everything to handle the situation. And then he said this. There is a social democrat slogan, proud but not satisfied. I didn't know about this slogan. Proud but satisfied. And this is what we have here. He says, I am proud of what we have accomplished so far, but we are not done. Yeah. I'm sure the Danish citizens who read this article were impressed. Yeah. This is a huge problem to the Danish. Malmö is very, very close to Denmark, you see. And the crime gangs, the criminal gangs, and the insanity of Malmö is sort of spreading to Denmark. Yeah. Maybe you will put up a wall eventually between Denmark and Malmö. Finally, I have to tell you about this guy. His name is Sven Otto Littorin. He's a former minister in the Swedish government. He was a minister during this time when Sweden opened the borders. Yeah. He was the Labour minister. And he was interviewed. And he said, "I cannot say that I regret the decision to move abroad." Yeah, that's right. He left Sweden. He now lives in Dubai, in the Middle East. And he says, "The question is whether you dare and want to move back to Sweden." He also noted that those who have the opportunity, they will leave Sweden or try to find a safe place within the country's borders, like I did. And he says the end result is that those who can will move to a quieter part of the country or abroad. They who are without the same opportunities have to stay. It's devastating, he said. All right. Okay, that's all. See you later. Bye.